What's up, bloodsuckers? Are you ready to suck the life out of another session of Vampire, the Masquerade 5th edition? I hope you are, because you are watching New Game, Who Dis from the Glass Cannon Network. I am your interim game master in the Vampire game. We call that the Storyteller. I am a master of story structure. So we are here tonight to play another session of this incredible game with this incredible cast, and I'm going to introduce them to you. Why don't we do that? First, the man, the legend, playing the psychologically damaged and damaging psychiatrist, Dr. Malcolm Webster. Please welcome Troy LaValle.
Oh, great to be here. I've heard good things about this show.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good. And then I've been on it twice. And so Malcolm Webster, he played some mind games with an inmate last time. He's of the Malkavian clan.
Yeah.
He finds himself in a situation which, I'll get into a recap in detail in a little bit, but he finds himself in a situation where maybe the Masquerade has been breached. A bunch of mortals have seen one of our players feed on somebody. Mm-hmm. Can his mental powers get him out of this tonight?
No, I don't think so. I think this is going to be the end of Dr. Malcolm Webster.
This is it.
I've been thinking about it all week, though. I mean, that scene that we had in the prison it's just been like resonating around in my head. I really want to continue playing this character for a long campaign. So can we just do this? Not record it, though. Just play this game get this coterie on the same track. Because we're definitely not for this adventure, and then just play this a long campaign. I think that'd be fun.
Let's all take a river cruise. Let's all take a river cruise together for like 3 weeks and just play a campaign every day.
Wouldn't that be so nice?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's play it for 10 years and then put it out as old game. Who dis?
Ooh, that's good. Grant, write that down.
Let me introduce the player who has breached the Masquerade. It's a breach. She is a fantastic actress and streamer, and is no vampire virgin, if I can put it that way. Nora Ibrahim, everybody. Hi, Nora.
Hello.
Valeska. Last time she wore a pizza pan skirt.
Pizza tutu, yep.
A pizza tutu, and then in front of a party, well, she couldn't help herself. Yeah, there we go. Pizza.
It said, listen, there was a vibe for this party. I dressed appropriately.
Yes, the vibe was weird.
Yeah.
And then all kinds of weird stuff happened. Do you ever go to weird parties, back in the before times, before we were all kind of in our houses? Did you ever go to any weird parties?
I mean... Not that I tell publicly, but yes.
Okay.
Got her.
That's her private business.
So close.
Yeah. We'll get it out of her during the game. Let me bring up. So this player, what a fantastic player. What a fantastic actress, improviser. And she is playing an artiste who was the hunter and then became the hunted in our last session. Sydney Emmanuel, how's it going?
It's going okay until you mentioned last session, because it's pretty rough.
Well, it's hard. It's a new game, Who Dis? And then so you're kind of figuring out not only how the rules work, you're figuring out how the world works. But I mean, you guys were making good decisions. It's just I just really put the vice down on you.
Were we?
So?
I think what you said is very accurate, Jared. We got to the party. Vibe was weird. The mood was weird. It was supposed to be, and then it got weirder and weirder, and then we got into a rough spot. So,
weird. Speaking of rough spots, boy, what a transition! This guy is a real rough spot in the best way. He's playing Charles, the Big Badger Casale, the most crooked player in the Federal League, a neonate vampire who was. Definitely embraced as early as possible if he played in the Federal League. Yeah. Skid Mauer, everybody.
Hey, thank you very much.
Oh, the stash.
Yeah, the adhesive was worn off on the mustache a little bit. I was planning on getting a new one.
That's a shame.
So I'm going to be saving this for incredibly character-specific moments. Yes.
The Stashgarade.
Yeah.
I forgot the mustache, and then I looked
Hashtag
over and it was
stash
there, and it was a nice surprise.
Oh, good.
That's fantastic.
I'm glad you enjoyed it while it lasted.
Yes. You made a character, a caitiff vampire, who was good at busting heads, and you got to bust a head right towards the end there. I can't wait to see you, but I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for violence this session. Are you excited for that?
I'm so excited. I think Charles is particularly excited. He's in his element when there's violence to be done. Places to go, people to damage, as he likes to say.
There we go. So much ultra violence as the Malcolm McDowell inspired character would say. A little of the old ultra violence.
Yeah, a little bit of the old ultra violence.
Yes. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to hand it over to Troy for some giveaways, and then we're going to do a recap. Troy?
Oh, some giveaways. Thank you again to our new friends at World of Darkness. They hooked it up for Stream 1 and Stream 2, and they came back for Stream 3 with more giveaways. Same thing as the last couple weeks. One winner is going to get a physical copy of this gorgeous rule book. It should be in the MoMA, not in my dirty Massachusetts hands. You're going to get the rule book and these dice, which, you could just buy 40d10, but then you've got 40d10 lying around. If you're going to play this game, you really need these dice. I can't imagine doing it without them. And that's how they get you, but it's smart. So one of you is going to get both of these, and then 3 of you are going to get digital copies of the rule book. Here's the thing. Not everybody's going to win. If you don't win, go to modifius.net and buy the book, because you need to own this and play this game. And speaking of games, sadly, this is the last week of Vampire the Masquerade, although I'm going to try and get this game going on sometime in the future. Yep. Next week, it's time for a new game, Who Dis? Grant, throw up that graphic. Oh, that's right. We're going to be playing Fiasco. If you know Fiasco, it is really the perfect game for new game Who Dis. This is going to be a 2-weeker instead of a 3-weeker, because I think 2 weeks is more than enough to create some bastardized version of a Coen Brothers movie live. And look at this cast. We got Skid. We got Grant is going to be playing and on the ones and twos. Matthew Capitacasa, he's the one kind of running it. He'll be hosting, but there's no game master for Fiasco. Everyone just plays and has a horrible time.
Really?
And then our own Eleanor DiLorenzo and newcomer Anna Suzuki, who is a friend of Grant's and a friend of Grant's wife. She is phenomenal, and I think you're going to fall in love with her. So tune in next week for Fiasco Part 1.
Yay! We love
Fiasco
new players.
Yes.
New players are good too. All right, are we ready for this? Are we ready for this short recap?
Yes.
Well, the most important thing is that last time I got a rule wrong. If you spend a willpower, you can roll up to 3 dice on a roll for just spending the 1 willpower point damage. Taking 1 willpower damage, superficial willpower damage. You can re-roll up to 3 dice that failed, as long as they're not hunger dice. I think last time I said it was a willpower per dice. That is unfair and incorrect. And so now that has been fixed, and now I can kind of bring us up to speed. If you didn't watch the last 2 streams, the last 2 sessions, and why would you be watching this one if you hadn't? But regardless, you maybe need a little pickup, a little recap. The new Prince of Philadelphia has issued an edict. It's her first decree as the new vampire prince of Philadelphia. Domina Who stated that there are too many unregistered anarch vampires in Philadelphia. They are flooding in from Pittsburgh, where there's been some sort of vampire catastrophe, where the Second Inquisition has taken over. There are too many poachers in Philadelphia. And so many havens, many domains and hunting grounds find themselves dealing with vampires who flaunt the Camarilla's laws, make a mockery of the traditions, and this can no longer go on. So Domina Who assembled the Camarilla kindred of Philadelphia at the Blue Horizon boxing club where Elysium takes place, and she said that each coterie in Philadelphia has 48 hours to bring in as many unregistered vampires as they can, as many non-Camarilla vamps who are in the city illegally, according to the Camarilla's laws, as they can. And those that fail, those that do not bring in these poachers and law flaunters, they will lose some of their hunting ground privileges. But those that bring in the greatest prizes, the most notorious anarchs, the largest number of poachers, they will be gifted access to the city's prime hunting grounds, University City and South Street. And so our coterie, who were kind of part of a Regency coterie under the former prince who's disappeared, perhaps led off to the beckoning in the Middle East, our coterie, they found themselves a little bit of a loss because only Charles Big Badger Casale, played by Skid, is really a fighter and a hound. The others are more of a social coterie, more of a administrative coterie. And so they had to quickly figure out how to find anarch vampires and bring them to heel. They, through the incredible social connections and assistant of Petra, Sydney's character, found their way to an illegal party. It is the year 2020 in our game. They found their way to an illegal party aboard a battleship that is docked in Philadelphia, the USS United States, a big old rusting battleship. And on the deck of that ship, there was a sort of underground dance rave going on because it's vampire, and you do not play vampire without featuring one rave. And on board this ship, people were dancing with headphones. It was one of those like creepy silent parties. Drinks were being served. People were grinding, sweating. The heat of humanity met our vampires' tongues and nostrils, and they hungered. They hungered, audience. And so Petra cornered a vessel, a likely vessel, a beautiful vessel, a young man named Joseph, whose costume, everybody was in costume. Of course they were. Joseph was dressed as like a matador, and she fed on him discreetly and without abusing the privilege of feeding. She did not drain him till he was suffering from health problems. But at that moment, she was cornered by a stranger named Steve. And Steve turned out to be a predator himself. He was not, it wasn't really clear what powers he was using, but he immediately overwhelmed Petra's senses and then seemed to drain the very willpower out of her soul. Quickly, her coterie jumped to the rescue. They captured and threw down this interloper, this guy, this Steve, this strange person with supernatural powers, but not before he used one of his powers to awaken Valeska, Nora's character's compulsion. She became obsessed with the beauty of our friend Joseph, Joe, the one that Petra had been feeding on. Joseph ran, trying to get off the boat. Valeska followed him. Valeska leaped on him. Valeska bit her fangs into his neck. The entire party was, in theory, watching. Let's roll a D10 to see how many people have seen this happen.
Come on, one.
You know.
That's a 6. So,
Yeah.
as our session begins tonight, I would like to start in the small kind of, there was kind of like a cabinet or a closet where Petra had been feeding and where the coterie had cornered this guy, Steven. And I would like to start with Big Badger, Charles Big Badger Casale. I want you to know that you've got this guy, Steven, down. And I told you he's, his costume is he's dressed in like a harlequin mask with like a big, like a Renaissance kind of like disgusting costume, like a phallus girdle or whatever, and you're just smashing your potent empowered fists into his face, and his teeth are now missing, and he's got blood all over his face, and he's still kind of smiling, but he's like, whoa, you hit hard, man. And I want to know what you're going to do with him, because according to my records, you have him down to where if you hit him one more time, you will have filled in his entire superficial damage meter, and then if you keep hitting him, you'll start filling the aggravated damage meter, which could, in theory, lead to his death or at least a coma. So I want to start because your friends have run out after Veleska, who was chasing her quarry, right? But yeah. Charles, you're the only one still in this kind of like closet where this entire encounter took place. So Charles, what are you going to do? This guy's beneath you. He seems kind of under your power. What do you want to do?
All right. He says, not so funny anymore, is it? And he looks and he's like in the middle of this frenzy, just this kind of like lust for beating somebody up. But he realizes it's like, oh, what's going on? And he needs to go attend to the rest of his coterie. So he says, I'm gonna need to take a little nap now, boyo. And I think I'm gonna use lethal body to. Yeah. What can I do to like knock him unconscious? I just want to like give him enough damage to knock him out.
Okay. I think that. Let's see. He has one more superficial left. If you can do an attack, and he's not going to defend, and you can do like 5 damage in one attack, I'm going to say you just knock him out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bam! Just like slam my fist right into his nose.
Yeah.
With a crack, and just go to sleep. And I get up with my celerity, and I just take off in the direction where I think they are.
Well, let's see if you can do that 5 damage. Let's see if you give me a strength plus brawl roll, but you can add your dots of potence.
Okay. All right. So, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's plenty, but you have to get 5 successes in order to just knock him out.
Is there a max die pool in VTM?
There is not, actually, and sometimes, like, elder vampires or powerful creatures are tossing, 12, 14 dice.
Wow.
But 5 is, I usually cap difficulty at 5 and only go to 6 if it's like the ultimate, most important roll of all time at the end of the chronicle.
Okay, I got exactly 5 successes.
Oh, okay. That's so beautiful that if you've used any willpower, I'm going to go ahead and heal a willpower for you, Charles, because you called your shot. You were like, I need you to take a nap. And you just hit him so hard that, boom, you see like stars go up in his head, and he like hits the back of the closet and is unconscious. And then using your celerity, you rush out. Yeah. You rush out to the scene. So I can add you to this next scene. Let's go to the rest of our coterie. So the deck of this old kind of warship is out in the southeast corner of Philadelphia, and it's full night. There's even a little bit of rain spritz because it hasn't been completely dry lately, and the lights and the things that you're using for this party are really subtle, so that the authorities don't catch on that they're having illegal like get-togethers out here. And most of the people in the throng aren't paying attention to what Valeska is doing. They're dancing, they have their eyes closed, they're paying attention to each other, they've got earphones on, so they're not really hearing anything. But you notice right away, Charles, as you come out and join Dr. Malcolm Webster and Petra, that a few people do they are like looking over at the gangplank back to dry land, and at least 2 of them have their phones up and are starting to film, because our friend Valeska has completely leaped on top of this man and has bit into his neck and is feeding on him. Valeska,
it's a performance piece.
Maybe it is. Valeska, actions that have anything to do with anything other than pursuing this man, this Joseph, this vessel that you wanted to feed from, have -2 right now, because your obsession, your compulsion has been brought up as a Toreador. You're obsessed with his beauty. But what I want to know is, are you going to feed completely right now? Are you going to drain him completely, or are you going to just take a sip and then try to pry yourself off of him?
I will try to pry myself off of him.
Okay. I'm going to say, because of your compulsion, you're going to take a -2 penalty. You'd characterized your obsession with him as running after him and biting into him. That's what you did. So I'm going to make -2 to your willpower roll to stop feeding on him. Do you have any willpower damage right now?
Am I rolling just straight willpower?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, seeing as how I only have 1 willpower left, and I'm rolling with a -2. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, no.
I don't like your chances.
I did not succeed at all.
Okay.
So I do have -2 on that roll.
Okay, so yeah, there wouldn't have been a way to succeed at it. So you have kind of gone into sort of a frenzy now, and that means that poor Valeska. Valeska, I mean, so poised, so in control of her cult, but in this moment, this creature, this Steven, has awakened like the inner demons inside you, has let your beast loose, and boy, did it want out. Because you're
It's a
so
new
in
cleanse
control.
I'm trying.
Yes. Well, you will be cleansed after this because you have gone fully feral, and I'm going to let you know that you are just ripping his neck open with your canines right now. And that means that your display of power and savagery is not something that you can hide, Valeska. It's up to your friends, Petra, Charles, and Dr. Malcolm Webster. What do you want to do?
Okay. Petra, I think, has come out of it a little bit. She was jostled from before. Her like head was splitting, but now back in the open air. She's seen what's happening with Veleska, and she's like, "This is so bad. They have their phones out. This is not good." But again, like poker face, so serious. She turns to Malcolm. She just goes, "This is really bad." And she turns back, and she like, I want to do like a performance check, sort of, and I want her to like walk in front of the people, block their phones, like walk in front of them, and sort of like clap her hands and be like, okay, it is performance piece and it is not correct. Okay, start again. And she's like yelling out like as if they had messed up the piece, and she's like, too much, like just trying to throw them off to be like, we don't care about this anymore. Like this woman is too into this.
That is absolutely a fantastic plan. I think that you can use your performance skill if you'd like. I'm going to allow you to use your poker face specialty.
Ooh.
Yes, I was going to ask that. And then can I also use my fame, or in my aspects like my my beautifulness, to just sort of have people like refocus on me instead of... Okay.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate as well. The only problem is you are currently at 0 willpower because Steven fed on you in some weird psychic way. So you will take a -2 to this roll, and I mean -2 dice to your pool. But I am going to allow you to use awe, and that means you're going to add your presence to this roll. You have a presence of 2, is that right?
2. Yes.
Yeah, so that's 2 dice plus your performance. That's 5 dice altogether, and then I'm going to allow you to add charisma, so that's 7 dice. But we're taking off 2, so 5 dice. And let's see, you have 6 people watching, so convincing all of them that this is some sort of publicity stunt or art piece, you need 3 successes on 5 dice.
Oh,
okay,
man.
and I have 1 hunger because I did feed, which this is a good thing. So it's not all for a waste. Okay, here we go. I have 2 successes.
Can you spend it? You can't spend a willpower to get more.
Can someone aid me? Can like Malcolm or someone like do? Does that exist?
It does, but let's find out what Malcolm does. So, here's how I'm gonna narrate what happened. 5 of the people that are watching go, oh, check it out. Like they're like entertained, like they're like, oh, do it again, like whatever. You can tell that they bought into but there were 6 watching. And you notice perhaps one of them, a young woman in like she's in some kind of horned, she's dressed as a gazelle, right? She's got like the little bushy tail and like the big gazelle ears. She's like just like glides into the crowd with her phone. And she was not clapping. So I will ask now, Dr. Malcolm Webster, because I think Petra, that takes a little bit of your time and your effort, right? And we have to go back. We really have to go back in a second to see if someone's going to get Veleska off this guy, because right now Veleska is, going to leave a corpse in a second. Malcolm Webster, what do you do?
Oh, well, now that you said that, I had a plan, but now that you said that, I'm wondering who's more, should I be dealing with Veleska and Charles deal with this rogue gazelle, or should I deal with the gazelle and Charles over on Veleska? Skip, do you have a preference?
It's up to you, Doc. You're in charge right now. I'm just a simple vampire.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to go after the gazelle. And just kind of hunt her through the crowd.
Yeah.
Not unlike a lion hunting an actual gazelle.
Yes.
And
So
in Malcolm's
thematic.
mind, he's just everything transforms to like the desert plains of Africa, and he's looking for this gazelle in the wild, and he's snarling under his breath.
Very good. So moving through this silent, creepy dance party, you just keep those horns kind of, on your radar, and you're moving through. I'm not going to make you roll to follow her. I'm going to make you tell me what you do when you get to her. She has basically gone up to the bar where there are a lot of people who aren't dancing, who are kind of paying attention, and she's furiously tapping on her phone.
So I imagine he just sees those horns above the bobbing heads of the crowd, and he follows until he gets right up on top of her, puts his hand on his shoulder and is like, "Give me your phone," and tries to dominate her.
Very good. So that's a compel, I think. Or do you want to do a full mesmerize? Mesmerize means you'll need a rouse check, but for the scene, she'll kind of follow instructions. Or do you want to just do a compel, which makes her do one thing right now, but you don't need to rouse to see if you get hungrier?
And what would that be? A persuasion manipulation?
Compel will be charisma plus your dominate.
Charisma plus my dominate. That's pretty good. Not as good as persuasion plus manipulation, though.
Manipulation plus dominate is a mesmerize, and she'd be kind of, under your power for the rest of the scene.
Let's try that then, because I may need her.
Okay.
And
Great.
if I take some damage, I could.
She looks right into your eyes, because how could she avoid it? You grab her shoulder, she turns around, and she didn't clock you as the danger. She clocked Valeska as the danger, right? So when you turn around, she looks right into your eyes, and you say, "Give me your phone," and you roll manipulation plus dominate, and she rolls what she has to resist.
All right, I got 2 successes. One of them was a 10. That doesn't matter. And 1 skull on the hunger die.
Okay, 2 successes and a skull, which is a 1, but 2 successes is 2 successes. Unless you roll no successes, that's when that skull becomes dangerous and horrifying. Right. She got 2 successes.
All right, I'll burn a willpower then, if I can do that after the fact, and that allows me to re-roll my 2 black die. Come on!
You're not re-rolling hunger die, are you?
No, I'm leaving those there. I have 2.
Great.
My 2 unsuccessful black die. One of them turned into a success.
There it is. You just
Nice.
beat her. And so she turns around and is like, "Fuck yeah." and hands you her phone.
Turns the phone into dust. Can I do that?
Wait, how does he do that?
He's a magician as well.
Oh,
I have a stage magician.
I have a 1 strength, but I assume that's vampire strength. I can just
Meanwhile,
blow
you have her phone, and this particular mortal is currently kind of under your mesmeric sway, Dr. Malcolm Webster. So when I come back to you, tell me, what further commands you give to her, but that's kind of taking you away from the rest of the encounter. And right now I would like to just check in on my friend Valeska again. Valeska, how much hunger did you have when you started feeding on this beautiful, beautiful person?
I had 1 hunger.
Well, now you have 0, because you have put him in a place where if he doesn't receive professional medical attention immediately, he will die. And I want, if you would like to, you can. I'm going to just ask Nora, do you want to continue feeding and just finish him? Do you want to role play resisting again? Do you want to role play how she acts in the midst of a frenzy? You tell me what she does next.
I think if she really is in the midst of a frenzy, and she's used to being the center of attention, I think after just ripping into his neck, I think she would just look up at whoever was applauding and just spit blood out into everybody.
Okay.
Wow. Like the Gallagher of vampires.
That's so awesome that you can have a willpower back.
Sweet.
Because it's so disgustingly, brazenly a bad idea. That earns you a willpower. And in fact, Petra, while you're explaining to the crowd that it's all a performance piece, suddenly Valeska lurches forward and just spits blood all over them.
I'll take a bow.
Yes, and they continue to applaud with blood dripping down their faces. But now I must ask Charles, Big Badger, and I think Petra, you've achieved your first objective. So both of you can tell me. Let me start with Charles. What do you do?
So the situation here is under control, right? We think.
I don't know. I mean, let me give you a little context in terms of the setting. In terms of the setting, Veleska has broken the masquerade. You think that Petra has covered for you, but on the other hand, she seems to be in the midst of some sort of delusional state or some sort of frenzy state. And that's someone who's worked as a hound, which is...
right. Okay. All right.
You might... look,
okay.
And also Skid, you might go, no, I don't want to do that. But like, he might have some ideas about the fact that she needs to be contained. Or he might be like, oh, this is handled. I can go deal with the other guy or whatever you want to do.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't thinking that way. So yeah, he sees her full masquerade breakage mode in frenzy, spitting blood on people. So he's not much of a performer, but he's just like starts laughing. Ha ha ha! Well, what a wonderful show you put on there. And he's like, I think you've earned a nice little rest. And he just puts her in a headlock, does his grapple thing, and he's just like, I'll take you back into the place where actors sleep. Then he's trying to pull her back into the...
Would Valeska resist this?
Hell yes, I would resist this. Can I just...
Yes. Beautiful. Then go ahead.
If I have regained any sort of composure from regaining a willpower and being satiated, can I just snap my fingers for some assistance from my phalanx?
Oh no.
Yes, you can. And are they the ones that are kind of, are they running, are you telling them to mess with Charles, like run interference on Charles, or are you trying to get them to help you? What are you asking them to do?
I would say if I'm currently in the state of a headlock,
yeah.
If I do this, they would be removing me from said headlock.
What? Let's see. Let me look at your background here, my friend, and my friend Valeska. And it looks like you have your Mala is a 3, and you have a let's call it a. They follow you because of your charisma. So you roll 7 dice for your Mala and your command of them, and Charles Big Badger, you roll strength plus brawl plus your potence die, because that would help here.
I have a specialization in grappling also. So
and
what does that do?
1 die for that.
Okay.
You'll add 1 die for that as well. And now I want to hear how many successes both sides got.
A lot of dice.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
7.
You have 7 successes?
And you only got 4?
How dare you? I got 4.
Here's what happens. Charles gets Valeska into a headlock and is dragging her down the gangplank. Valeska's entourage arrives and they're slapping Charles with fans and hitting him with nail files and smashing bottles over his head. And he's just it's not even affecting him. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just walking where he wants to walk while they beat and batter him. I will say that with that roll, you have achieved the objective of getting, if this is what you were trying to do, Skid, getting her out of there. Getting her
out of there.
That's what I assumed. Okay.
It reminds me of the time I put Billy Sunday in a necklock in the World Series.
I don't know any of those things that you just said, but I hate you.
All right, calm down.
And while that's happening, I think Petra is still on the deck of the ship watching, so stoic face, and she's just going, this is exactly how I would do it for real. This is exactly how I would. And she turns to the people filming. She's like, this is brilliant, I have to say. She takes out her own phone, snaps a picture.
Very good. I mean, she successfully kind of contained it. She successfully gotten them to believe that it was some sort of show. I mean, everybody's dressed bizarrely here. Everybody's engaging in weird acts of art. So But I will say that, like, you know, Petra, you and you can role play this however you like. Something has been taken from you, and it's been taken from your personality. So think about how she's reeling from that. But right now, I want to hit Malcolm Webster one more time and see if he has any more commands for his new, very willing friend.
All right, so I don't know what the situation is over there.
No.
And so I imagine he grabs her phone and then quickly starts looking through it. And I would say very, very rapidly realizes, like, he doesn't know if what was filmed, it looks like something was filmed, but he doesn't know if it's been sent anywhere or if they're like pending messages. So he says to her, you lost your phone tonight. And he's still looking through, and then he goes into her social media and starts looking at her pictures, and he's kind of like psychoanalyzing her based on her pictures. And he's like, so many photos of yourself, yet look at your eyes, so much sadness, narcissism mixed with depression, a potent concoction I have drunk myself on many a lonely night. Come join me and my friends. And he just wants to walk back with her because he may need her as like muscle.
Oh, very good. The coterie are they leaving? Because Charles has kind of gotten Valeska off the ship. Would Petra and Dr. Malcolm Webster and his new charge like to exit the ship, or do you have any other business here?
Well, I was going to take her back to where that other vampire was, where I beat him up. So we could deal with that.
Okay, let me change. Yes, absolutely. You are perfectly able to do that. So you drag her back up the gangplank, and you kind of get to that kind of linen closet that used to serve like to hold things on the ship, and you stuff her in there with your charge, who is completely knocked out, laying there. His face is horribly bruised and battered. And Dr. Malcolm Webster, you can join all of them if you'd like, and Petra, you as well. Would you like to all kind of reconnoiter at that spot?
Yes. Yeah. Unhand me, Charles! I hate you.
Charles perhaps has to shut the door on her.
She just had a little too much blood of a Spaniard tonight. It's all right.
Pull that mustache right off of your face.
Oh, that really hurts. It'll grow back overnight.
Jared, this roll is like 3 hours too late, going back to last week, but can I roll Auspex just to get a sense of any other undead in my area?
I thought that you guys maybe tried some things like that, but
did we? Okay.
Let me see. Malcolm Webster, you have Auspex of 1. So you have heightened senses, I believe. Yeah. And heightened senses sometimes allows you to detect other undead if they're not being careful. And I think that when you looked around the party, you guys did a really nice, thorough search.
Okay.
You didn't find anything that matched the undead. And so, but you know what? You bringing that up allows me to bring this up. This guy is not kindred. He's not a vampire, but he exhibited supernatural powers. So in theory, you failed at your mission, which was to find anarch kindred that aren't supposed to be in the city. You found something else, something with mental powers, some sort of psychic control over its enemies or its prey. And what are you going to do about that? And also, I got to tell you, it's now close to dawn.
Oh no!
It's not 20 minutes till dawn, but I'd say it's probably like an hour and a half till dawn.
I think that Petra, like you said, Jared, she is not fully recovered from the events, although she was able to like put on the show and put on her mask for the people. But once they get back in this room and she's with everyone, she's like, she turns to Malcolm and Veleska. She turns to Veleska first and she goes, "Hey, you okay, babes?"
I'm fine.
You're not. You're like super freaking out. And she turns back to Malcolm and she just goes, "Something's not right. This guy, Steve, I don't know what he is. He's not one of us. He's not kindred. I would have been able to handle a kindred. Thank you again for that, though, Charles. I think that Domina has set us up for absolute failure, and I want to rip her throat out."
And I'll just use that mention to point out that last time our good friend Valeska did a little reconnaissance on Domina, and you at least know where her haven is now. That's where she sleeps during the day, which is very useful information against a vampire. But
Cedar Oak Lane.
That's right, exactly right. What are you going to do? You got a body, you've got poor Veleska covered in blood, and her pizza pan skirt is completely knocked lopsided. What are you going to do? How are you going to get out? Where are you going to go next?
Oh, boy. So it seems like since this was such a fail, our options are hopefully have a better second night, or just go kill the person that gave us the contest.
maybe not kill, but I think we need to have serious talk and say, listen, we know what you're doing. We know that you are part of this, well, whatever they are. I don't know.
I don't trust her one bit.
Hi, Valeska. You're feeling better?
Yeah, I'm fine. I will say that I think we should go investigate her household because I don't trust any of this. Why would we be set up to go find these Anarch kindred at a party where there was clearly somebody who didn't belong?
Maybe this was a setup. Maybe she's trying to wipe out the people that were the coteries that were tied into the Regency. So she sent us to a place that had this other being that's super powerful, and we just happened to smash it.
She's always been jealous of me, and so she just wanted to take us out, and she ruined my pizza skirt. As far as I can tell, it is her fault.
So I have good news for you. Everybody has skills and attributes that would allow them to kind of have this conversation and figure out what's going on, right? So if you have politics as a skill, you can roll that along with your intelligence. And if you have occult, if you are interested in this query that you've kind of that Charles has knocked out for you, you could roll that along with your intelligence. And if anybody has another idea for another kind of roll they might make while they're having this conversation about what the next move is, they may tell me and they may roll that. Who would like to roll? Does anybody have something they'd like to roll?
Ooh. I'm sorry, by politics, did you mean etiquette? Because I have etiquette.
I didn't, but maybe etiquette would work. If you would like to make an etiquette roll, like what is the etiquette of this situation, you may, and it will have a bearing on your decision, or at least give you some info. You can roll intelligence plus etiquette.
Okay.
My occult is locked into parapsychology. That doesn't seem like super relevant, right?
Actually, I think it probably is relevant, right?
Okay.
I mean, this guy is displaying psychic powers, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I will roll a occult.
You're like the Peter Venkman of the group. Like, we need you more than ever.
Thank you, Skid. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so let's see how people did. What was your pool for your etiquette roll, Petra?
I got 3 successes.
Oh, that's good. That's enough for me to tell you that generally there's kind of a detente between vampires and the other supernaturals in a city. Like, if you don't mess with us, we won't mess with you. And if they cross paths in a way, like usually some sort of amends need to be made, because just like there's a big vampire conspiracy, there's a big other things conspiracy usually. However, your 3, that was what 2 successes on etiquette would tell you. Your 3 successes tells you that perhaps, because this guy was a dangerous sort of, it seems like a psychic vampire, perhaps you could turn him into the prince and get credit for having nabbed a poacher, right? However, the problem is proving that he's supernatural, because right now he just looks like Chandler from Friends if someone beat the shit out of him.
Okay.
So you need to prove he's supernatural. Dr. Malcolm Webster, how did your occult roll go?
2 successes.
Okay. So 2 is not enough for me to tell you a whole lot. I'll simply say that you are aware from your parapsychology studies that there are many different supernaturals out there. that are not clearly defined by vampire, werewolf, ghosts. Like this is some extra miscellaneous category. You're not quite sure what he is. You would need more data. But the fact that you stabbed him in the neck, you remember this, Dr. Malcolm Webster, because I think you were there when he healed instantly. That intrigues you. He's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Would anybody else like to roll something for info? And of course, going after Domina, who gave you this quest in the first place, is on the table.
Oh boy.
So
I'm bringing Cindy wherever we go.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So your friend who you've mesmerized is sort of just like standing outside the door of this little closet and kind of like waiting for you, like obediently, kind of looking down the hallway either way and not going anywhere. Yes, Charles or Veleska, anything you'd like to do? Anything you'd like to try to figure out?
That's not really Charles's strong suit, so I'm going to defer to everyone else on Earth in this case.
I did a etiquette intelligence roll to see what else I can gain, what other knowledge I can gain from this new prince that I don't trust. And I got 6 successes with the critical. So total 6 successes.
Damn.
Okay,
How do you roll those?
That's amazing. And so you know exactly, after breaching the Masquerade, you now know, and having it covered up, you now know exactly what's going on in the whole situation, right? You don't think that this was a setup. But you do think that this new prince is sort of New Guard kindred, because for years there were all these old, stodgy kind of elder vampires, and now they all are disappearing, going into torpor, going into the Middle East. And Domina Who, the new prince, seems like very New Guard, very like, I'm going to shake things up, right? And so she will appreciate left of center points of view. She will appreciate non-traditional ways of handling things. And that is probably why she has done an unheard of thing, which is call for every coterie in town to try to like get, grab these anarch vampires and bring them to her. But she has not set you up. That is not her style. Her style, your etiquette tells you, is not obeying etiquette, not obeying the rules.
Well, it doesn't seem like she's trying to double cross us, but...
Well, I don't trust her. She's a little too quick to embrace modern ways, by which I mean anything that happened after 1921. I don't care for it.
I mean, I don't like it either, but it seems
that
like...
Babe Ruth fella. God, I hate him so much.
Who?
I'll tell you, it's a long story. Involves hot dogs, beer, and Baltimore. You won't care for it.
I never understand anything that comes out of Charles' mouth. I don't know. Somebody
That's
can't
why we
explain.
get along so well.
I do think that while I don't think she has it personally out for us, which is what I would prefer because then I could handle things my way, I do think that she would appreciate an unconventional approach.
So does that mean we drag Steve through the streets, we quarter him 4 horses at the intersection, bring her body parts, or
That
what?
sounds more like an old way.
I mean, it sounds like an old way, but I do like it.
I like
No,
it
you
too.
are right. You are right. No, I'm misthinking. Okay, we drag Steve through the streets on Tesla. That is good.
Yeah, that's more.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to drive a Tesla. This is great. I think that because it's gay, so you guys spend some time like really like whispering in this closet as vampires often do, angrily and vehemently whispering in this closet, and then you realize that there is some sort of commotion outside, and I want an intelligence roll, an intelligence plus streetwise roll from Valeska. I'm sorry, not Valeska, Petra. I apologize.
Okay.
Petra. I get my Toreadors confused sometimes.
It happens.
And I only need 2 successes on this.
Okay, and this is
Intelligence plus streetwise.
I don't have any streetwise.
Oh no.
Well, at least you can spend willpower to fix your rolls. Oh, wait.
That's so funny.
You actually still have the -2 because that hasn't healed up. So
yeah, this is going to be a really funny roll for me. I have 3 intelligence and 1 hunger, so I have one. Wait,
1 hunger die.
So you
One
roll
hunger
3 die, 2 black, 1
hunger
red,
die.
and just roll 3 successes.
Just roll that 1 hunger die.
no, I
There's
just
way you
roll
can-
one. I just roll
way you
1
can
hunger
get,
die.
There's no way you can get 3 successes, so you cannot achieve this. But if you get 1 success, I'll let you succeed at a cost. Roll that 1 hunger die and tell me how you do.
I got 1 success.
That's a really good news. You thought to get rid of the body because nobody else did. There was a man just bleeding out on the catwalk out there. But you already thought to get rid of the body, and I think that you kicked it into the water or something like that.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't
because
want to
you
get my
only got
hands
one
on
Part of the
success.
show.
I was like, one last end scene. Okay, great. Yeah, done.
And so the commotion outside was not, in fact, people screaming as they found a body. It was people leaving. Their people are now starting to exit the party. They had a good time, but it's time to get off of this ship and go back to your day life for all of these mortals.
Better get out of here.
Yeah, you never want to be the last person at a party. It's so sad.
This particularly when daylight can kill ya.
Cindy, come with me.
She's like, okay.
This is my new friend, Cindy.
What is... Hi, Cindy. What
She's
is...
in a gazelle mask.
Okay, hi, Cindy. What is plan? We are going to split up. We are going to stay together to plan through our...
It is
day.
bedtime.
It's
We must
bedtime.
embrace the coming dawn.
You have Steven, whatever he is in your power. Charles knocked him out with his potent strength. Let me know if you're taking him anywhere. Let me know if Cindy, I gotta write that name down. She will stop being mesmerized by you after this scene, but let me know if you're doing anything with her. And it really is time to kind of go to ground because you are vampires.
Charles is going to take sheets now that we're in this linen closet on the retired Navy boat and tear them into strips, tie Steve up, gag him, stuff a sheet in his mouth, and he's going to throw him like firemen's carry him. And it's just like, unless anyone has any objections, I'm going to take this fella, whatever he is, back to my little out-of-the-way nondescript landscape company in northeast Philadelphia that no one's ever heard of or ever will.
Very good.
Dr. Malcolm Webster wants to ask Cindy, do you have any medication?
Yes, I take Lexapro.
Lexapro. Is that...
It's for my depression.
Perfect. So fucking dark. It's so unnecessarily dark. But he then says, perfect, and he feeds on her. He's gonna just like take her to the back corner of this closet and be like,
wait, remember, you
"Don't
gotta
look at
feed
me."
on her for like 2 weeks before you really feel the
Don't
effects.
look at me.
Don't look
She
at
has
me.
it on her. Would you like her to take a bunch? She has it on her. Would you like her to take a bunch of them before you feed?
Oh my god! No, I don't. I don't want to hurt her. I have an affection for her.
Okay, she might not.
hurt her, I just wanna drink her blood.
Okay, no problem. I will allow you to feed, and I will allow you to go down to 1 hunger. Going down to 0 hunger, like our friend Veleska did, requires some sort of act of savagery, like our friend Valeska committed.
This is great, though. I mean, my addiction is like they have to be on antidepressants, and so this is perfect. This really worked out well for everybody.
Yeah.
What a wonderful, heartwarming story.
Well, Dr. Malcolm Webster, I love how often this coterie feeds because the other coteries I storytell often like forget to do it and then it screws them over. So you guys, Dr. Malcolm Webster is feeding. Charles, you have your prisoner. Are you heading back to Four Seasons Total Landscaping?
I am.
Done. Petra and Valeska, where are you going? What are you doing?
I forgot about that.
I would say that somewhere in this very cosmopolitan city of Philadelphia is a. I would know somebody who possibly would have a boutique hotel that caters to our kind.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see why not, especially because you have so many great little, let's see, you have your backgrounds in fame, mala, influence, and resources. I think that you can always go to ground in the Mooder Museum with your cult, but you'd rather go to a boutique hotel?
Yeah, and if Sydney wants to come along, but if I understand she's pretty aloof sometimes, so.
Great.
Sydney
Your
the
fame
player.
gets you into the hotel. They don't make you run a credit card. They don't make you do anything.
No, there's no windows in the penthouse suite. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, treat yourselves.
The Hyatt Centric in Center City.
The party's not over yet. The night is young. We go to the hotel.
Petra, do you go with her?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Great. You guys end up in the Hotel Bella Vista in Philadelphia, where they cater to a kindred clientele with the penthouse is all blacked out. And Valeska's fame gets you in without having to, stand in front of the counter while someone puts in your information while Valeska's covered in blood. You guys going back to the loading dock, and the ghouls that bellhop there and clean the rooms there get you into the penthouse suite. They charge you later. It's not completely free, but it is a service that they perform for the kindred, and Veleska has credit there. So, Dr. Malcolm Webster, you have fed from a poor, mind-controlled Cindy.
Gazelle.
Vampire is rated R, restricted, parents strongly cautioned. And then what do you do?
It seems like I wasn't invited to the nice hotel, so
You can come along.
Yeah.
I'll go back to my pied-à-terre. It's fine. My concern right now is Steve. What are we doing with Steve? Like, we all have to sleep with him.
We could bring Steve.
He's
What if he
laying in a
wakes up while
warehouse
we're
in
God,
Four
Steve.
Seasons total landscaping
that's right.
with the big badger
right, so
standing
he's set.
over him.
He's great. He's on a pile of mulch. He's fine.
Yeah,
Alright,
he's
Yeah, sorry, fine. You know what, then Dr. Malcolm Webster will go back to his pied-à-terre, and he will turn on the Discovery Channel to watch documentaries about lions hunting gazelles, and he falls asleep in his casket to that.
get your resolve back in willpower, everybody.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, is that willpower spent or willpower damage, or both?
Your willpower damage goes away in the number of resolve dots you have. So, for example, my friend Dr. Malcolm Webster, you
had
have a
one
resolve of 3, and you have a willpower of 5. I don't know how many dots of damage you took to your willpower or spent of your willpower.
I took 1 damage, so
Okay, so that is
goes away.
completely healed up.
What about
goes
my
away
spent
first?
willpower?
The spent or damage go away first. Willpower.
They can go away in equal measure, guys.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so if you have 3 resolve, that many can go away from both.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and that goes
so
for
you should
everybody.
really burn your willpower like
Yeah,
Cindy did.
Yeah, yes. Big Badger, you've got a resolve of 3. You could get 3 back. And my friend Veleska, you've got a resolve of only 2. I don't know how many you spent, but you can get 2 back. And Petra, you've got a resolve of 2, so you can get 2 back. So no longer do you have 4 willpower damaged across your thing there. You now have 2 willpower to spend in this new evening, because all of you, the sun comes up and you die again, like you do every day. And the sun crosses the sky, and we would do it with really flash forward photography, like in cool indie film, as it crosses the sky, and then suddenly you are not awake, you are alive again. Big Badger, he comes to in a landscaping service closet. I don't know where the Big Badger sleeps. But I will tell you whether or not your captive got out or not.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I tied him up real well.
I know that you did. In
These
fact,
high thread count sheets.
let's do this in a versus roll. Could you give me? What would you use for your to see how good your tying skills are?
I would suggest
Firearms and medicine.
I would suggest wits and streetwise.
I love that combo. Can you roll that for me?
I will do that. One success.
You can burn willpower.
Would you like to burn a willpower?
I am going to burn a willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Burn a willpower. 2 successes.
He got 1 success. When like it's like literally like the light coming through like a little window that's like shining on Steven, like it just kind of goes into shade, and then you hear Charles moving in the other room, and he's like you can tell he's like came 2 hours ago, and he's been like working at it for a long time, and he's trying to get this pipe that cuts the Blonde's butt. That's when Charles walks in. Oh, hey, man.
You're full of piss and vinegar this evening, aren't you, boy?
Hey, why don't you let me go? You know, I mean, I didn't do anything that your kind don't do all the time.
Oh, it's freedom you want now, is it? What about freedom for me and my kind? I'm trapped here, stealing souls on a nightly basis. You think I don't think twice about... Fuck.
It's like an SNL skit.
I know. It's like towards the last half hour of the show, like everyone's
They
sweating.
ran out of spirit gum.
This is what I know, is that you took quite a bit of vigor out of my friend. She didn't like it, and neither did I. And it seems to me that you might have some unique insights into what's going on in this town. So how about it? Why don't you talk, and then we can talk freedoms.
What do you want to know?
I want to know what you are, for one thing. I'm a pirate now. I want to know what you are, for one thing. We'll start off there. What manner of creature are you?
I walk among the kind just like you do. I take what I want, and then I disappear back into the crowd. I don't do any damage that would cause anyone to raise an eyebrow. I'm not hurting anyone. Except for, the people I feed on. I'm exactly like you, just a little different.
You're like us, but not like us. Because you're not us. Therefore, we can treat you however we like. So...
Suddenly, he kind of goes like... And it's your old coach, Charles.
Oh,
the guy who coached you in the Federal League.
Oh, no.
Is he a fucking changeling?
Owen Nesbitt.
No!
And he's staring at you, and he's like... All right, Badger, that's about enough of your tomfoolery. Now you get this guy loose, let him go, and move on. You're wasting your time. You failed again. You always were a ne'er-do-well with no gumption, and you never followed through. You never followed through, Badger. I want you to let this man go now and get back on mission. And that's when he's going to try to use a power against you, and you are going to resist.
That's fucking great.
Let me go with your, let's see here. You are going to roll your intelligence plus resolve.
Oh, no. Intelligence.
Coach Owen Nesbitt. That's
Poor
great.
dice. Oh, no.
Dang it, Nesbitt.
Oh, one success.
Well, it's too bad he critted then.
Oh, no.
I can tell you that Big Badger, you untie him. You don't even realize what you've done, Big Badger, until a couple of minutes have passed and the light has shifted again. It's gotten darker inside the basement of Four Seasons Total Landscaping, and you just sort of come to holding the rags that you had him tied up in. He's long gone.
He's just muttering and says, don't send me down to Utica. I'll be good. I can't take it there anymore. It's like prison. Where the fuck did he go?
And so now the coterie has about 12 hours and 1 hour of playtime to come up with some sort of anarch vampire or fuck with the prince in order to get out of this situation, or their feeding privileges will be severely hampered in Philadelphia and they will lose status. This is horrible for a coterie of your status.
Horrible.
Yes.
This is bad.
Hear me
first
out.
thing, Charles wants to communicate to the rest of the coterie what happened, so he goes immediately to like a late night Western Union, so he can send a telegram to everyone, and then he waits patiently.
For 3.5 weeks.
We don't have 6 to 8 weeks to find out.
All right, damn it, fine. So he has like an old like two-piece like telephone in the basement there that's hooked up for him with like an earpiece, and he's like,
Operator.
"It's all right. Give me Murray Hill 5505." And
Listen, my carrier pigeon doesn't understand any of this.
Murray Hill.
Well, we did establish last time that even though you are Camarilla vampires, the no cell phones rule is very hard to enforce. And so Badger certainly uses a rotary, but the rest of you do get the call. It comes through, and you are aware of what has happened. And so now you must let me know what you would like to do. You have about 12 hours of darkness before the timeline is up. The time limit is up.
Nora, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking we should. Well, what I wanted to say requires us all to be in the same room. So,
The storyteller decrees it is so. At the hotel.
Meet us at the Western Union.
At the hotel
Villa
where Petra
Vista.
and
The illustrious-
Veleska are staying.
Oh, yeah, at the bar, the hotel bar.
yeah,
So
Yeah, we meet at the hotel bar.
I love a good hotel bar.
hear me
I
out.
miss them. I miss them so.
And so do these vampires, because the game is in 2020, so it's all like there's tape all over the bar and all over the tables.
Ah,
And
fuck,
you
we
just see
can't
like
drink.
weary
Plastic
business
dividers.
Yeah, weary
We can't
business
drink
travelers in
anyway.
masks. Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
It's supposed to be a fantasy game.
I know, even the fantasy world sucks.
Hear me out, guys. So, either we hunt down every single person on this list, or we hunt down one. We take out the prince. We don't have to take out and do, all of these people. That would take so much work.
Wait a minute. So you're talking about going after who?
Exactly.
No, I'm asking. Who are you talking about going after?
No, that's the person I'm telling you we're going after.
She said it.
Who? You're talking about going after who?
Exactly.
Who?
Wait,
Quite confused.
who are we going after?
Domino who?
That's her. That's it.
Well, you're all better thinkers than I am, so I'm just going to point me in a certain direction, whatever you want, and I'll start beating people up. I trust you.
Okay,
No
Valeska.
matter who they are.
Valeska, I trust
Well,
your
there's only one of
judgment.
them.
Right. Who? Valeska, I trust
Yes.
your judgment.
This is
so much.
underappreciated.
Veleska has shown nothing if not great judgment.
Yes.
No, I'm joking. She was under the influence of a insidious supernatural power. Yes, so you know where her haven is.
This is
If you
so
would like
bonkers.
to go after, if you'd like to go after the prince herself, you may go to that location. Is that what you'd like to do? How are you approaching? What are you doing?
Hold on. I was going to say, Valeska, I trust your judgment 1000%, but I know that guy, Steve, really fucked your head and fucked my head. And I'm thinking, if we go after one person, why not go after Steve? Not blaming you, Charles, but it was your absolute fault that he got away.
Steve
we
doesn't
can
get
add
us.
Steve to that list. Steve is an easy one.
Maybe Steve will come to us. But
We have
Steve,
Don't we have Steve already?
no,
Oh
he's
no, he just escaped.
escaped.
Yeah, that.
Steve is
you not
the
get the
person
telegram?
that Charles had.
Yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
is the other one. I'm sorry. I was
he
frenzied at the
escaped
time.
my infernal clutches.
Yes,
Sorry.
Okay.
We couldn't have failed
I thought
any
he was going to
worse.
send me down to the miners.
I'm thinking maybe we get Steve first, like picking up food on way to party, and we get to Prince, and we think like Steve is offering, Prince not accept, we kill Prince.
But how do you suggest we find Steve? He's in the wind.
But is he really, or is Steve looking for us?
Curious. Yes, perhaps Steve is the predator and we are the prey. Not
Been
unlike a
watching
gazelle
way
tackling a
too
lion
many
in the desert.
documentaries.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if one day gazelles hunted lions? Sorry, what are you guys talking about?
All you need to do is tell me your plan, and we'll start rolling
Okay.
dice.
If
Although
we
I love the
actually,
gazelle lion imagery.
if we actually want to try to find Steve,
Just lost it.
so true to character, just like Charles is like, I have no idea what's going on.
Lunatic Malkavian just pontificating while you're trying to form the plan with only 12 hours left.
Already, Petra is texting Claire again, her
Yes.
intern, who she relies on for info, and she says, "A maze party vibe was a little weird. Who was? I forgot his name. Joe. Who was Joe's friend?
Who was Joe's friend? So you're trying to figure out all who went to the party, right?
I'm trying to figure out. So Claire pointed at that dude for me to hook up with at the party. So I'm assuming Claire knows who that dude is. So I'm trying to say, like, who was Steve? I'm basically saying I met
we get
Steve
a
at
guest
party.
list?
Like,
Wait a minute.
didn't-
Who was Steve?
No,
I know it was a
no.
shapeshifter, but you're saying
No.
now that
That's what I'm trying to find
How
out.
can that even be possible? Okay,
That's why I'm so fucking confused.
we know that Claire, who was so good with the party, we know that she was able to find the party for you, a party that was not advertised anywhere, a party that was completely secret. So can Claire get you the entire guest list?
No, not the whole guest list. I'm basically going to say, like, that guy you pointed out to me, super cool. He had a friend named Steve. Do you know who that is? Just sort of just saying, like, maybe she
Let's
knows
see.
his social media.
Okay. So Claire gets back to you, and she is kind of like sending you photos of the party that she took. And then she is kind of sending you a social media account for this guy, Joseph Travolo, the one that Valeska ate. And it's kind of creepy, Petra, to see all of these photos of a young man that you watched your friend devour last night. And he's just like, he was like a young actor, but he's like a Philadelphia actor, so it's not going that well. He's just like, you see him in like, what's it like, Tony and Tina's wedding and all this stuff, like, and in the background of a lot of the photos, you see the guy Steven kind of like in the background like this. And it seems to you that he hangs out with this group of actors that Joseph Travolo hangs out with.
Let's kill them all.
yeah, I'm ready to kill every single one of them.
Yeah, well, you have, I think, a couple names just by looking at their social media accounts. There is
love that this is
Ren
modern.
Pittman, a woman named Ren Pittman. You can't find a social media account for Steven, but you find a
course.
woman named Ren Pittman, a guy named, let's see, Harker Quinn. They have really pretentious actor names.
They're not on IMDb, but they have like a link tree or a LinkedIn or something.
OnlyFans.
Exactly.
OnlyFans, yes, for some.
I'm on Ren Pittman's OnlyFans. It's just
I'll scout the OnlyFans ones.
and a guy named Luke Crandall.
Veleska.
Okay.
Luke Crandall, and I hope I haven't already used that last name. I should start crossing these off. Ren Pittman, Harker Quinn, and Luke Crandall are members of an acting troupe that have been doing a lot of like local theater, and Joseph was one of them. And Steven is in the background of a lot of their pictures, and he's not tagged in any of them because he does not have accounts himself.
That's creepy.
Yeah, he's like way in the background, like.
Oh, I love
That
that.
doesn't make sense.
Jerry, you don't know how
I know
perfect
actors
you look.
and I know actors. How would they not be narcissistic enough to not have their own accounts?
That's very
Well, no,
suspicious.
they have them, but Steven, who's in the background, is not tagged.
He's not an
Yeah,
actor.
That's super suspicious.
Steve is sus, yeah.
Even
Is
worse,
this-
he's the person who hangs out with actors but is not an actor, and you're confused. Like, what does that guy do?
Oh, he's a serial killer. That's what that is.
Yeah,
There's
that's all
no
those
good.
people
Yeah.
are. Or stage manager, maybe.
Or that.
Okay, sure.
God,
Just
if
as
this, if this
So, two
scenario
women named-
ends up in the Helium Comedy Club of Philly, I'm going to be like, Jared, were you leading us to Helium all along?
Yes,
And,
I just want you to devour the booker because he wouldn't have me. No.
And give it up for your headliner, Mr. Jared Logan.
I don't even know who the booker is. Please don't take that seriously.
An elaborate scheme, though, to put you in this universe as the headliner.
So you meet this guy Jared's wife, and she's really hassling him. No. So I would never do that. The real world, and this is a fictional form of Philadelphia in the world of darkness. Viewers, let's have a separation here. But there are two female actresses, Ren Pittman and Harker Quinn, and a young male actor, in addition to Joseph, Luke Crandall. You know where Joseph is? On the bottom of the Delaware River. Maybe floating up sometime today. But you don't know where these people are. But you can get, I mean, like, through social media, if someone gives me a role, you can get their addresses and you can get to them. You're going to have to spend some hours on some investigative work.
Oh,
Can we just
that's
put up a sign that says like auditions?
Yeah, let's set up an
later
open
today. Open call, and then they'll come to us.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
you
is
know
like a
what? If you
Scooby-Doo
were allowed to
plan.
play the long game, it would definitely work, Petra. But unfortunately, you have 12 hours.
It's such a
People don't
Scooby-Doo
really
plan.
respond to auditions tonight.
Free
Well, if
car
they're not
wash for
committed, no.
monsters.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, what do we pretty much have to pot commit to taking down who or chasing the Steve line, which is really all Petra's. Petra, you're the one pushing this Steve chase.
I'm not for push to nothing. I'm just saying, like, you take down one, you take down one. If we go after Prince, one. If we go after Steve, maybe Prince accepts Steve and thinks, like, wow, we're really making difference.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like maybe one Steve is worth 10 anarchs.
Yeah, because Steve, like, really, really hurt my head really badly, for real.
Yeah, he's very powerful.
Yeah.
They might like a story like that.
I mean, if you insist on going after the Steve character,
I am so totally down to go after who, honestly, do not care. It's going to unaffect my gallery opening on next week, so it does not matter.
We got 12 hours. I guess we could spend 7 or 8 chasing down Steve and then finish the night on whose doorstep, with or without the corpse of
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
good.
we're going after Steve.
let's do it.
If you are going after Steve, you must use actors' social media accounts to find him.
I don't want to play anymore.
This looks like a job for Skylar.
My eyes, it burns.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yes.
my beautiful androgynous baby. Skylar.
Skylar's probably pretty good at this stuff, right?
She's the
Skylar-
Chekhov's gun of this adventure.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding.
Listen,
Yeah, if Skylar
they
gets
know
mentioned,
the ins
you-
and outs of all of social media. So
Yeah. If you see a publicist in Act 1 of the play, That publicist is going to be fired by Act 3.
Can I call Skylar?
You absolutely may.
Darling. I need you.
My beautiful queen. How may I serve you?
My beautiful androgynous baby, I need your help.
I am at your service.
I need you to look up this one, Steve. Do we have a last name? Steve,
no, it's just Steve.
Listen,
Describe him.
we don't have a
He's
last
like-
name, but
Steve,
darling.
Really smiley face, khaki pants, not good.
Steve
Forgive me,
Khaki.
my monarch,
no.
but there are probably many Steves in Philadelphia.
Yes,
Do you
but
have
what,
any other names or?
Friends
Well,
with Joseph, friends
here's what
with
we can-
Harley.
yes.
I text you. I'll text
I'm just like very, very bitchly. I'm like,
Send me their info.
all right, so darling, they were at this party last night. They were friends with somebody named Joseph. If you could find this guest list and find this Steve person, I can't imagine there are many people wearing khakis at this party that we were at, but also if you can check all of the hashtags for this party and see if there are any, if you see any photos of somebody wearing khaki pants, that is who we're after.
Great. Well,
I want to talk to Skylar. Can I have the phone for a moment?
good idea.
Fine.
This is a good idea.
I'll put it on speakerphone. Speakerphone. Skylar, you are on speakerphone, darling.
Skylar, this is Charles Big Badger Kinsale.
I know who you are, Charles. You
Right,
say that
Skylar.
you introduce yourself every time we speak.
Right. Sorry, it's just phone etiquette from a time when I come from.
Yes.
I want you to keep an eye out for someone who's got a very badly bruised, battered face and is covered in shredded navy sheets. All right, I'm going to hand you back. And he hands
Oh,
it.
thank you. Okay, so let's see how many hours it takes Skylar to do their business and track this person down for you. Hey, look at that, 2. Skylar gets back to you pretty soon with 2 addresses. Skylar wasn't able to find where all 3 of them live because they had scrubbed the internet. The actors had scrubbed the internet. But Luke Crandall lives in, let's see. Luke Crandall lives in, let's find some good neighborhoods. Chestnut Hill, which is a high-income neighborhood filled with trolleys and old rail stations. And our friend Harker Quinn lives in, let's call it Germantown.
Oh.
We're gonna have to split up. We're gonna have to go 2 and 2 to shake them down. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to split up, right? Because we have to.
I guess.
Skylar, darling, I'm very pleased with you. You and I shall go to one of those massage places where they will place cocker spaniels to walk all over our backs, but they will charge us exorbitant amounts of money for it.
Pleasing you is like 1,000 orgasms. I require no reward.
Oh, you're the best. An extra kale facial for you, my love.
You're my god, and you can get it.
That's right, baby.
You're my god.
I shall talk to you later.
Get it.
All right. So, Skylar was helpful. Are you going to split up? Or are you going to put all your eggs into one basket? It's going to take a couple hours to kind of not a couple hours to get over there, but you get over there, get in, do things. The clock is ticking. What's your strategy?
This is where you really see the brilliance of the game, because that 12-hour clock is such a great natural mechanic of the vampire world.
Thank you. It really is true that there's always a clock ticking for the poor vampires, no matter how powerful they are.
Oh, we have to split up.
Yes, we should split the party. For
Who's
sure.
going with who?
Who is going with who?
Shall we draw straws? The
Deal with you
old-fashioned-
later. Right now, we're going after Stephen.
No, Charles, I'm saying
No,
who among us is going with...
Is this a dice roll situation?
Who's among us?
No.
Charles!
No.
Slap.
I'm
1
sorry.
hour
Oh,
passes while you're confused about Dominant Who's name.
God damn it! This is so stupid. Okay, I'm gonna say Hoomst from now on. Is that better, Charles?
Oh, now I see. Oh, the same, right, because she has the same name. As
Good
right,
call.
now I get it.
He's just getting it. Dear Lord, Valeska, please let me go with you.
Oh, are you worshiping me as your lord now?
Absolutely, babes, for sure. I'm like on the phone. I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, for sure, babe. Mwah, kiss, kiss.
So are you going to Harker Quinn's address or Luke Crandall's address? Luke Crandall's address is in a much more upscale neighborhood of the city. It's a little bit
I'm
more
going to the
suburb.
I
upscale
think
one.
that's
You guys go to
us.
Luke.
Yeah.
We'll go to Harker.
We're using our
Charles
characters
and I.
in ways that's good. Look at that.
Yeah.
The best coterie ever.
Yes. And so let's cut to Charles Big Badger and Dr. Malcolm Webster arrive
pair.
outside of a kind of a rundown apartment building. I mean, an actor's salary doesn't go far in the year 2020, especially during a time where all of the opportunities are kind of shut down. And so you see that whoever our friend Harker Quinn is, she's not living in the best of digs. This area of Philadelphia, it's not the most low income or the most rundown, but it's cheaper, a little bit cheaper. And it's predominantly black neighborhood. There's a penitentiary out here, but it's not yours, my friend, Dr. Malcolm Webster. But right now you're just outside of a kind of a cheap-looking apartment building with a list of names and buzzers.
And what is your name again? Harker or
Quinn. Harker Quinn.
All right, so we scan the list of buzzes for a Quinn or an H Quinn.
It's there, a little slip written in ink pen beside the button.
All right, so he finds it and he turns to Charles. Dr. Malcolm Webster is like, we must play to her insecurities as an actress. And he buzzes it.
Hello?
Hello, I'm so sorry to bother you at your home, but is this the Harker Quinn?
Who is this?
This is incredibly awkward. We saw your reel on YouTube. My associate and I are investors.
I'll be right down.
Oh no.
It's so cruel. So cruel. It's like the worst thing we've done yet.
I have no plan, by the way. I'm just seeing what
Moments
happens.
later, a pretty young woman who looks like she may have hastily put on makeup is opening like the big heavy door into the apartment building for you. She's still in sweats because she was at home, but she does appear to have maybe applied a little bit of makeup, and she's opening the door for you. And she's like, "Hi, Harker Quinn."
Hello, Miss Quinn. My name is Leo Moretti. And
Have you gentlemen decided to appear as mortals?
Yeah, so what do we have to do? Do we have
Give me
to
a
roll?
roll, each of you. And you
man.
you're using what's called the blush of life to appear as a person.
And what is roused
Success.
is just a straight up,
You just roll one die, and if you get a 6 or above, you don't get more hungry.
10 on the old rouse.
Nice.
There you go.
You know, it's crazy. If I ever get to 4 hunger, things get so horribly bad, which would be so bad right now. Well, it's probably not going to happen, but I have stigmata. So I'd be like, hello, my name is, sorry, I'm just bleeding from my palms. This is awkward.
Oh my God.
I hate when this happens when I'm interviewing new actresses. But anyways, all right, so I succeed, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is quite unorthodox, but this is a bit of a...
And I'm Chuck Small Ocelot Crandall.
Yes, Chuck
I'm
Crandall and I.
Also a producer for the moving pictures.
Yes.
Right. Well, no, I mean, I assume that, that some sort of unorthodox, casting is happening right now. I mean, things are so crazy.
Things are a bit different, and we appreciate you understanding. Trying times, it's difficult to find new talent. It's not like we can just go to the whatever improv place she performs at and find new talent. Anyways, I'll get straight to the point. I
We
don't
think
know.
you're the best mummer of your generation.
What my associate is trying to say is we don't know what it is, but we know you have it. And
What's the project exactly?
we are, and this is why this is such a clandestine affair, is why we are coming to you at your home. It has to deal with let's just say someone is attached to the project whose name rhymes with Jom Tanks. And
Sounds like you're saying, okay.
okay, I believe I've said
She
enough.
starts to back away.
Oh, no.
And is kind of like going back toward her elevator, and she's like, I think you better leave.
She's seen through a clever ruse. Kill her! And I lunge at her.
And we lunge in with baseball bats. No,
Dr. Malcolm Webster is like, this is the role of a lifetime, and we'll try to manipulate her mind.
Great. I'm going to allow you to do it without too much rolling in this particular case, because it was open to your job offer. But I want to cut to the chase. What are you trying to find out from her? Why did you come here?
are you saying you don't want us to roleplay this for the next 45 minutes?
Look, nothing would make me happier. But
Oh, God.
contrary to all appearances, this is going somewhere. So let's go.
All right,
trust you.
Where he wants to go with this is he basically says, I think you would be perfect for this, but there is someone we've seen on your social media, because social media now is such a big part of casting, who we don't even know if this person is an actor, but we need him. We need him in the picture. He just has the face.
Who are you talking about?
No, we're not talking about her at all. We're talking about the fella in your pictures.
Charles.
What fella? Who are you talking about?
I won't say anything else.
And he shows her the picture of. I'm so confused right now from all this role playing. Is it Joseph or Steve? It's Steve, right?
It's Steve.
And he shows her the picture of Steve, like.
She says, "Oh, that guy? He's not an actor. I think he lives with Luke." Cut to. Petra and Valeska, you've pulled up to a very nice house in the Chestnut Hill neighborhood of Philadelphia. Looks like there must be family money in actor Luke Crandall's background. There is a Tesla parked in the driveway, and it is full night, but there are lights on inside. What do you do?
I have an idea. Real estate agents go around to wealthy homes to see if their owners will put their house up for market all the time. Why don't we pose as real estate agents to kind of break the ice a bit?
I'll
10
follow
p.m.
your lead. And she switches out her cell phone for like a PDA thing with like a stylist, whatever, like a more like a formal. What are those called? They were really popular.
Yeah, a little pad with a stylus, a
Yeah.
BlackBerry.
Newton?
Yeah, like a
An
black.
Apple Newton?
Yeah, it's a Newton now.
Yeah.
And you also have a Zune if you want to listen to music.
It's not old, it's new. I'm just saying that type of thing. And she puts on like little glasses and she's like, yeah, I look part for sure.
The tiniest glasses.
6 little pincers.
Yes.
Pince nez.
They're not fucking kids. She's not Benjamin Franklin up here.
You're dressed like you're giving a walking tour of Old Town Philadelphia.
She gently adjusts her pince nez.
I tie my bonnet on. I'm like, now I'm real estate agent, right? Like,
Just adjust my halter.
Yeah.
Petra is wearing opera glasses as you approach.
Oh shit, I should have brought my opera glasses. They're in the other room.
And you arrive at the door and you can hear loud music blasting from inside, and it's like the worst kind of pop. It's like it's just like blasting over and over really loudly.
Okay. Petra, if this plan fails, we're just gonna act like we're invited to this party, yeah?
Petra.
you think it's party? I think they're watching reruns of
I don't
Friends.
know. It sounds really sad. Knock, 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 knock.
Okay, and when you knock, my friend Veleska, you notice that in fact the door is open, and it kind of like creaks open, and you're looking into a beautiful multi-million-dollar home that is completely trashed. The bong is on the floor, the water's all poured out of it, beer cans everywhere. Someone's been writing on the walls, and did someone relieve themselves on the stairs, the carpeting? This place is completely decimated. To your right is a living space, and it's a beautiful multi-million-dollar home. So it goes down into kind of a recessed area with like a big screen TV that is on right now, and there's some kind of like PlayStation game like repeating its menus over and over again. And you notice a figure in the darkness, just in the light from that TV, kind of sitting on the big sectional couch in that room, and to the left, there is like, you know, a nice, well-appointed dining room, also trash, covered in takeout containers, delivery cartons, and there's probably a kitchen or pantry beyond that. And then there are stairs going up to the second floor.
I'm going to activate awe right away, just as I'm... Excuse me. Hello, I had an appointment.
The figure on the couch in the living area slowly turns to you and begins to kind of stumble toward you and finally comes out into the light. The actor Luke Crandall was handsome. He had kind of a Ron Livingston thing going on in the photos you saw on social media. But now he has more of a Walter Matthau thing going on.
Oh, no.
Because his hair is bone white. He has hanging jaws. His skin hangs limply from him. His eyes water. His shirtless frame. He looks like someone who's been hungry for weeks. And he reaches toward the two of you and goes, "Help me. Help me." Before falling to his knees in front of you. And upstairs you hear, "What's that, Luke?" And it's Steve's voice.
Oh my God.
I just completely ignore Luke falling to the floor. Hello, it's Chelsea Pendleton. I'm the real estate agent that we had an appointment with this evening. 15 minutes ago. I've been waiting down here.
Okay. Let's see how convincing you are, Veleska. Can you act that for me a little bit? Can you sound convincing? You have seen something horrifying. How do you do?
I don't care about him. He's
What's
not
your
the mark.
humanity? Your humanity
My humanity is kind of high. I don't like
high.
being...
You care a little bit, but don't worry. I'm not giving you a negative.
I don't like being nice. I have a humanity of 7.
Roll. I'm just asking you to roll manipulation plus, I think, performance.
Okay, manipulation.
And I think in order to be like completely convincing, you need 3 successes.
Wow.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, man.
He's that good.
Manipulation plus performance. That's a lot of dice I gotta roll here, so I think I got high hopes. Okay, I rolled a success on all the die plus a crit, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
Oh
Whoa.
my! You have been doing this since the first episode.
Yes.
Okay, so you
Except for that, no, in the roll in the beginning where I fucked up that first roll.
That was the only one. It was an outlier.
You have disguised your voice. You have sounded exactly like, maybe a slightly older woman, a slightly different woman. And so Steve comes swinging around the corner of the upstairs hallway and is halfway down the stairs before his head comes up and he realizes who he's looking at. He's looking right into the eyes of Valeska and Petra, and he goes, "Shit." And that is when I want to see what Big Badger and Dr. Malcolm Webster do when they find out they are in the wrong place.
We are speeding, right? We're speeding over to that other neighborhood.
Yeah, we just
not hill.
carjack a passing Lamborghini. and we just get in and just drive like full speed.
You can
to this
have
other
cars. Vampires have cars. You probably don't need to. I mean, look, the vampires of Pittsburgh people have to carjack cars all the time, but you guys don't. You're Camarilla.
Okay.
So, who has the wheel though? I do want to know that.
Charles can't drive at all, so it would have to be Malcolm.
He predates automobiles.
Yeah.
Dr. Malcolm Webster.
Yeah,
It sounds like you're in the driver's seat. Could you please give me a dexterity plus drive roll?
That's not going to be good. That's not going to be good at all. Let me just check my dex. That's a 2.
Oh no!
Let me check my drive. That's a 0.
That's a nothing.
I should have been driving.
And my hunger is 1. So I'll roll.
So roll 1 hunger die and 1 regular die, and tell me how it goes.
Come on, Papa
By the way,
needs a
2
new pair of
successes
shoes.
is going to get you there reasonably fast.
It's not impossible. 1 success.
Okay, so you guys are trying to get there, but you haven't arrived yet. The position I love to put players in a role-playing game, you're just like honking your horn.
Get out of the way.
Like trying to get there, and
They're
now
getting
I
out of
ask,
the Flyers game traffic is like.
Stuck in traffic.
wait, these are supposed to be shut down right now.
I told you not to drive by the spectrum.
Petra and Valeska, he sees you, he says, "Oh shit," and what do you guys do?
I think I still have awe activated, yeah?
That's true, and I think it helped with just your general performance. And if you want to command him to do something, it will help with that. If you want to kind of use a social role against him, it will help with that as well.
I'll just stare him down and just say, "Have a seat."
Great.
And yeah.
Great. Give me a persuade if you'd like, or I'll allow an intimidation plus your charisma and add your presence dots to it.
Okay, so hold on, this is a lot. Charisma plus
plus persuasion or your
persuasion.
intimidation if you'd prefer, and you can add your presence dots to it as well.
Presence would be where is presence?
You, my friend, have a presence of... You have a presence of 2, so you'll add 2 dice to that.
A lot of dice.
14 successes.
Oh my god.
Come on.
So I rolled so many dice. I rolled 9 dice, but I got 3 successes.
Guess what? So did he. He runs back up the stairs.
Okay, Petra immediately, with vampire speed, runs after him, and I'm trying to like grab him by the ankle and just like rip him.
Petra does have a 2 celerity, so she has fleetness. So I'm going to say that he will roll versus you, but you have a very good chance of catching him here. But I think just for funsies, let's roll it. So your celerity of 2, it gives you fleetness. You'll need to rouse, Petra, if that's okay. So you need to roll 1 die and see if you get a success, see if you get hungrier. And then you can roll a dexterity plus athletics for me, but add 2 dice for your celerity power.
I did not get hungrier. I rolled a 9.
Okay, great. And he's
and then
going to roll.
I'm sorry, you said my celerity plus my dexterity plus...
plus your athletics.
My athletics. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. This is great. I have a specialty in athletics. I am like freakily strong and fast. 5 successes.
Oh my God! So that's amazing. So Petra is like up the stairs in like a blink of an eye, and she's got him. And she's got him down. Like he hits the steps. So basically, he and Veleska locked eyes, and Veleska was like, "Have a seat," and he was like, "No!" And he shot up the stairs, but immediately Petra's on him and slams him into the carpeted stairs, and he's underneath, and he is going to start brawling his way out. So you need to roll something, Petra. You need to roll. Tell me what are you going to do this round, Petra?
Okay, I don't have any in brawl. Although I'm very strong, I'm not like a good fighter. I'm just strong and fast with really good dexterity. So I'm wondering, am I able to where I do shine is my seduction. Am I able to picture this?
It's late night. It's late night. Let it roll.
Yeah, and the music is perfect right now.
It is. Very
Can I,
good
like-
music shift. there.
I'm on top of him. I'm pushing his head down. Can I like flip him over so I'm straddling him and use my like beautifulness and just my seduction and like look?
This is so vampire.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
this is it.
And it's just like almost like a dominate, but in a way of just being like, you cannot resist all of this.
Yeah, I'll allow that. I mean, how could I say no? Let's go with a. Can I ask you for a strength plus? Well, good lord, what is that second skill? The
Well, my
skill is going to.
persuasion, I do have seduction in persuasion. It's my specialty.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, there
take
you go.
it. Take it.
What
yeah,
about
I'll allow you to use that.
larceny 'cause
Strength
she
plus
stole his
persuasion,
heart?
almost an unheard of combo. And I don't want to leave you out of.
I like it.
This, my friend Veleska. What do you do when this is all going on?
If I have been able to catch up at this point, what I would like to do is while he is on the floor and she is straddling him, I will loom over his face and just gently put the heel of my Louboutin stiletto gently, almost right over his eye.
Okay.
Very close. As I'm looking down at him and smiling.
Great. No roll for you, but I think Sydney, you can add 2 dice to your roll.
Oh, amazing. Oh,
Your friend is
baby.
helping you.
Wow.
Okay. 4 successes.
Teamwork.
Whoa.
Okay, he only got 2, and so now let me narrate what happens. You flip him over, and you can tell. First of all, you see that his face is completely healed. Like last time you saw him, he was beaten. Yeah, there it is. Last time you saw him, amazing, beaten to a bloody pulp. He's completely healed. He looks youthful. He looks new, and you can tell, like as you're looking down at him, like his face is changing, perhaps taking on Claire's form or some lover from your past for a moment, Valeska, but then a stiletto heel lands on his forehead and he goes, ah! And now, because you use persuasion, he's like, yeah, destroy me. I don't care. This is too good. He's really excited and he's like under the power of these 2 beautiful vampire women. And so he is, for the moment, distracted, enamored at your mercy. And what do you do?
It's kind of fun when they're into it.
Yeah, it is kind of fun, but it also like kind of ruins it for me. I'm like, shut up. I don't
Just
care.
a little. Well, you just smack him around a little bit.
Okay, wait, but out of game, are we trying to get information from him? Or are we trying to just like hog tie him?
A very good question. You were supposed to bring those that are flaunting the masquerade, those that are flaunting the traditions, back to Elysium as prisoners. And so that is what kind of Charles was working on, but he didn't have a lot of time that night. So
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
want to do that, you should do that.
Can I lean down and just be like, here's what's going to happen. We're going to tie you up, and then you're going to come with us.
I like the sound of that. You should also take a little taste. I think you're gonna like what's flowing in my veins.
No, I just smack him really hard.
Oh, you just smack him. Okay.
Not
So,
gonna do that. Gross.
You a little bit later, you hear some car smashing into a mailbox, and
Like Home Alone.
They're
when
here.
our
Smashing
friends,
through the front wall of the house. I think.
unless they would like to revise this, in which they're perfectly able to, Malcolm Webster and the Badger arrive. The door's just hanging open to find Valeska and Petra straddling a hog-tied Stephen in this well-appointed house, and an old man lying sort of catatonic in the foyer.
That one's not us, but we got him. And look, I tied him with Gucci's scarf. So cute.
Wow. All right. So we walk in, we see this guy, and then Malcolm will mount the staircase and come up to where this guy is laying down and say,
what seems like a lifetime ago, I was known as Padre Vito Marcone, and soldiers would come to me in the night and speak their confession. You may be a soldier as well, and we have a difficult decision to make. We could bring you to a paradise known as Elysium, throw you in front of the court, and see what happens. Or we could bring you to our prince, which presents several complications. So, don't look at me as a doctor. Look at me as your priest, and take this moment to give your confession.
He looks up at you and then looks back at Petra, and he says, I've never tasted a will so delectable. All the ideas inside of her, they make me tingle. Just let me stay near her a little while longer. I'm enjoying this.
Can I just smack him hard again and just say, Petra, oh my God, new idea. We need to do a new art installation. We have Malcolm dressed as a priest. We have a confessional. People come in, they confess their sins. It's going to be a whole thing. We could have themed drinks. It's going to be amazing.
And Veleska is nattering on about that and describing this. You know,
After I smacked
Veleska's in good spirits, obviously. But Petra, this man is taunting you about having kind of stolen part of your spirit, and he's disgustingly like a pig begging for more. I need you to roll willpower, not to frenzy.
Oh, wow. I wonder if he's taking from her and that's what's healing his wounds. It's like
Have my smacks done nothing?
I was thinking.
Your smack's
gone
helps Petra with her frenzy roll, perhaps. You have, I think, 2 willpower, right? Currently?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll allow you to roll another die because your friend is there supporting you and smacking this guy across the face.
Okay.
So you may roll 3 dice.
That's gonna be a no successes.
Oh no!
I wanted to roll
Willpower?
real dimes
Willpower?
of the online roller. I was like, this will help me. I was wrong.
Petra lunges at Steven, and the other characters may do what they'd like to do. This may be the final roll of the game before we get into our Coda. Petra, you are lunging. I want you to roll your strength plus brawl, but I want you, because you're frenzying, to add a die to it. And I'm going to ask, are you allowing this to happen, Dr. Malcolm Webster? Are you allowing this to happen, Charles Big Badger? Are you getting away from her and letting her have her revenge, letting her beast feed, or are you stopping her? Let's start with Valeska, her bosom buddy here.
So he's taunting her. She's leaping towards him.
Yes, and she's about to roll her brawl to bite into him.
I don't know if I trust whatever it is that because he was taunting us to feed off of him earlier, and I don't trust it. And I'm very calm at this moment, and so I'm just going to very calmly, I've got points in fire. I'm going to pull out a firearm. I'm going to point it to his head.
Wow.
I'm gonna pull the trigger.
You're going to pull the trigger. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, no problem. I'll need you to roll your dexterity plus firearms. Petra, you know that you're rolling your, I said dexterity plus brawl in this case, because I think you're jumping at him. And actually your celerity. You can even add your celerity if you like. Charles Big Badger, what are you going to do?
I think he's sort of pretty confused. Like, he still doesn't understand the whole who thing. So he's just kind of following Malcolm's lead. He's just waiting to see what he does.
So Malcolm, what are you going to do?
I was going to be like, Charles, get in there.
Sure.
So,
You tell him to go in there.
yeah, so I think he's he pulls out his cell phone. And maybe he's using Cindy's cell phone. He still has her cell phone from the night before, but he pulls out his and he queues up to call Warden Denton Crane, his warden. Because in his mind, he thinks like he might be able to work out a deal with the warden to have this guy just be assimilated into the system if shit goes foul. But like this, he's moving in slow motion. He's kind of like Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. While shit's going down, he's just on his own fucking planet as a Malkavian. And he pulls out his phone and he brings up Warden Denton Crane and he looks over to Charles and like, Charles, you should probably intervene.
Right. And yeah, Charles goes over and like tries to pull her off and tries to like get the gun out of her hand to keep her from killing him.
Very good. Then, so that means you're kind of trying to disarm our friend Veleska, right?
Yeah.
PvP is okay in Vampire. In some games, it's kind of weird, but people should tell me if they're like, I don't want his character to do that to my character. That's completely fine, and we'll go a different way. But in this case, you would roll your strength plus brawl. I have a dexterity plus firearms and a dexterity plus brawl. Everybody roll, and let's start with Petra. How did you do?
So I got 3 successes, but I got the skull on the hunger die, so a possible bestial failure. So I'm not sure.
Well, if you got successes, it's thankfully not a bestial failure.
Okay.
So to the tune of 3 successes, Petra is about to bite into Steven's neck. My friend Valeska, how did you do?
I got 3 successes on the dex and firearms. If other people are opposing my action, would my composure help me at all?
I certainly think it would. Would you rather roll composure plus firearms?
I don't know. If I roll better, then yes.
Yeah, sure. I think we should actually. I'm afraid the die has literally.
Yeah, the
been
die's
cast.
been rolled. Yes.
You did pretty well. Right now, your gun thing is happening at the exact same time that Petra is biting into the guy's neck, and so let us go with Charles Big Badger. How did you roll?
I got 6 successes.
Okay, so forgive me, Valeska. Valeska is about to execute this man. Charles Big Badger, with his amazing potence, pulls you away. The gun goes off into the ceiling, and our friend Petra feeds. And Petra, his blood goes into you, and it's immediately like mainlining like a hallucinogen. Like the second the blood goes into your system, the entire room starts spinning. Ribbons of color start weaving through everything. Yes, you see everything through strange rose-tinted sunglasses. And your friends are like stretching. Like you see Malcolm Webster, and he's like holding like a big yam, and he's going like, "Warden, I've got a case for you."
He's just like, hand me troglodyte.
You see that, like now, like Veleska is like coming out of Charles's chest, like being birthed like a baby, and Charles has boxing gloves on, and like his mustache is flapping, and just everything is like making you kind of go, your mind goes sideways after sipping a little bit of this blood. And so now, would you like to continue feeding? You take off a hunger, by the way. Did you have any hunger?
I had 1.
It's now at 0. And would you like to continue feeding, or do you try to stop yourself? It's going to be hard to stop because you're not even sure what you're touching or if anything is real.
Yeah, I'm thinking like if this is like a fun trip, I would say keep feeding, but this sounds like this is like a weird, uncomfortable trip.
Yeah.
So I think she would try to stop. I think she would know somewhere in her subconscious, like bad blood, like don't keep drinking.
Bad blood. Bad blood.
Great.
Bad blood.
Roll that willpower one more time to quit feeding. And 1 success will get you to stop.
Okay, let's see. 1 success, but on my hunger die. Does that make a difference?
No, that actually you don't need hunger die for willpower, and I'm sorry, I should have been clearer about that rule. Willpower you roll without hunger dice, so we'll treat that like a regular die, and we will say that you have succeeded. And so Petra pulls herself off and is kind of like, taking a breather in the corner and trying to get the room to stop spinning. And Petra, we've seen your art before. Perhaps this inspires some new nightmare from your workshop. But now it is time, as Petra pulls herself away and cleans the hallucinogenic blood off her mouth, she sees him kind of like sitting there half dead, Steven, laughing at her like a giant jack-in-the-box. But now it is time for a Coda. We're going to go to each player and find out what they did at the end of this story. We are kind of jumping out of the scene. That scene is over.
Wow.
In the movie, it went to black, right? Black. And now we're finding out, was this guy taken back to the prince? Did the prince or the prince's people understand that this was some sort of supernatural, or was he able to trick them with his illusions? Let's find out based on the character's actions, and let's start. Dr. Malcolm Webster was already working on his Coda, so let's start with Dr. Malcolm Webster. What's one thing you did at the end of this story, Dr. Malcolm Webster?
Oh, you had to come to me.
I'm happy to jump around, my friend.
No, so I'm like, I was thinking about in this moment. So I imagine like in this moment, as we're fading out of this scene, and it's just madness happening. He leans down and starts speaking like in Italian, like church, like Domina Patria, and just like adding to the cacophony and just making a truly mad scene as he's trying to like retch a confession out of this guy.
That's amazing. He needs to roll his willpower right now.
Okay. What is
because
that?
If you're giving into your Malkavian madness, which is what it definitely sounds like you are, I want him to roll whatever willpower he has left.
All right, so I've got 5 willpower, so I roll 5 black die, or no, I have to.
Yeah, roll 5 black die. Don't roll a hunger die with that.
Okay. 3 successes.
If he's giving into his madness, Malkavians have strange insights. And he realizes that whatever this thing is, its blood is proof of its supernatural quality.
Okay, so he's Domina Patria, like the end of Godfather.
Yes, it's the blood, of course, just like it's the blood of Jesus Christ. The blood of Christ on the cross. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, so imagine he's going through this ritual. It's like, if let's just make it as crazy as possible. While they're feeding and this is he's going through the Stations of the Cross and he's doing through the whole Latin Mass. And then, when he gets to the part when he's like, the body of Christ, he lays his hands on the victim and he's like, and the blood of Christ. And instead of feeding, he just like reaches in and grabs like a penknife and stabs into the guy and starts like etching the sign of the cross on his flesh. Okay, and he's lost in his man. And then he reaches in with both hands and cups a pool full of blood like it's holy water and pours it into like something that he could carry.
There's like
back.
A vase that used to hold like fake flowers, artificial
dumps the flowers out,
and now it has a thin line of like crimson, it looks almost black in this light. Blood glistening in the bottom. Well done, Dr. Malcolm Webster. That is now an asset your fellow players can use in their codas because you do not have to stay in this scene. You can jump forward in time if you'd like. I just want to know the last action you're taking in this scenario. When I come to Charles the Big Badger, Cassale, what does he do?
I think he wants to take this guy back to Elysium.
Very good. Then let's do
judgment.
that scene. It is almost an hour till dawn. And Charles Casale and ostensibly the rest of the coterie, they're there to support you if you need, Charles, arrive back at the Blue Horizon Boxing Club. You go in through the back, and there are Camarilla personnel there. The servants of the eternal vampires of the Camarilla are there in their masks. That's how you know that they are the appointed officials of the Camarilla government. And there's also the sheriff and his people, Piper Hendricks. And you can see that in the kind of like little rooms where they'd like pat down the boxers and, rub their shoulders, they are kind of like examining different staked vampires. You look into one room where a man used to kind of probably sit while his trainer like massaged his back, and you see a kindred with a frozen face and a big wooden stick hanging out of its chest. And the sheriff himself sees you and approaches you and goes, Casale, so how did you do?
Well, we found this fecker. He's some kind of strange supernatural being. Some kind of poser vampire-like creature, I don't know. The doctor wasn't able to identify him, but there's some strange thing that he's planning, aren't you? And you threatened to send me the big antenna every time it went over for it. So it's like punching him in the stomach. It's like uppercut, like breaking ribs.
The Camarilla personnel who kind of greeted you at the door turn to Piper Hendricks, the sheriff, and they say, "It is not kindred, sheriff." And the sheriff goes, "Sorry, Casale, you can't just bring in some mortal off the street and claim they have magic powers. The exit's that way. You'll be informed of which hunting grounds you have access to tomorrow evening." And he starts to walk away. What does Charles do?
Wait. And he tears his arm off.
He tears the sheriff's arm off?
No. The Steven, he tears Steven's arm off. It's like, use my super strength. And then I say, "Here, taste him!" And he just sprays his blood all over their mouths so that they know how weird he is.
All right, so give me a strength plus brawl roll. You need 6 successes to do that. And let's see how you do. Okay. And you can add your potence dots to this insane roll.
Okay.
Oh my god.
6.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Shut the front door.
The sheriff is walking away when he hears a really disgusting...
I got a critical, actually. I got a crit.
Holy shit. He hears a disgusting tearing sound, and he turns around, and suddenly he's splattered with the hallucinogenic blood, and he's like, I like to dream. And he's just completely in the throes of a strange hallucinogenic trance, while, the Camarilla personnel are like, what's this? What's happening? And then the guy on the ground missing an arm that Charles is kind of swinging around, the guy on the ground missing an arm is like, so that hurt. And that's probably when Dr. Malcolm Webster looks at his vase full of blood and is like, okay, I guess we didn't need this.
I just lost my head. I went overboard.
He's hot-tempered.
I got a temper.
When you make a K-Duff with potence, you use that potence. And what a great thing to end your night, end your game session by ripping off an arm with 6 successes.
I had to do it. And I started hitting him on the ground with his own arm. That's the very last thing.
Now I ask Veleska. Veleska, in way of a Coda, I will let you know that this creature is now realized to have been a supernatural. That there is unrefutable proof. And so it seems that you guys will not be penalized. Your coterie will continue to have access to a decent hunting ground in Philadelphia. That exposition out of the way, Valeska, you can set any scene you want as the final scene for your character. What would you like it to be?
Well, if there's anything that this ordeal has taught me, it's that why do manual labor when you could have worshippers do your bidding? And so I set off my whole cult to see whatever anarchs, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care anymore. I'm going to get one of those new massage therapy things that they're doing now, where you lay down and you have cats do that thing where they're like doing this on your back as I'm getting an IV of my preferred blood type.
Very good. That's what happens. But I want to tell you one thing that happens while you're getting your cat massage. So you're getting your cat massage, and then I'm going to roll for your cult to see if they found something out. Look at that. Your cult comes in and is like, our treasure, our goddess. We have news.
What's wrong, my darling?
Nothing is wrong. We did as you asked. We followed up some of the leads that you had dug up. We waited outside her haven, Valeska.
Yes.
She left and we followed.
Oh, shit.
Go on.
She went to an address in Chinatown.
Ugh, okay.
There's a family there called Who. The
Yes.
prince is a cleaver. She's feeding from her own family.
How scandalous. Wait till I tell Petra.
And now, let us have our final coda with Petra.
Oh my God, just got text. I just got text from Veleska.
Hot goss.
This is crazy hot gas. Got to text everybody. No, I think depending on if Petra had heard that or not, this will change it only slightly. But like you had said before, Jared, immediately when you were like, she's having this drug trip and like everybody's crazy, I was like, oh, new art installation, 1,000%. So Petra has created, but in my mind, it was for the prince. It was sort of this like, not a brown nosy thing, but being like, hey, we know we did a good job and I'm going to put on this show and sort of say like, it's at Elysium and it's, you know, for our kind. So she does this huge installation and there's like a rotating room of characters that come in and repeat their actions. So like real estate agents come in and they're like doing stuff. And there's like a boxer in the corner punching meat bags that are spraying blood onto the wall in different patterns. And then they put up like new blank walls that like they continually punch new patterns into.
The Rocky installation.
Yes, basically. And you like walk around the room and it's different every time you go, but it's very drug trippy. And Petra has kept these glasses on the whole time. And she's sort of re-inspired, but in a different way. I think she's a little more fearful now, knowing that those types of non-kindred vamps are out there, and she feels she's gonna get therapy through her art.
Well, she has done. All of her willpower is back, and she can add a point of status to her sheet under her backgrounds. She now has status in the Philadelphia Camarilla because the Prince, Domina Who, looks at her and goes, "This is killer. I'm so honored." And she walks into the installation to kind of like look over the boxer who's punching slabs of meat, who happens to have a big, long handlebar mustache, and who is played by one of the actors that you found on the social media account site. And he's really happy to be getting his scale. As Domina examines the artwork, perhaps, I don't want to put actions in our players' mouths, perhaps Petra and Veleska exchange a loaded look.
Oh.
And that's where we'll end.
Oh my God.
Come on.
God, that was
awesome.
great. What a game! What a game! Jared!
And also,
Twists
what
and
happens?
turns.
What happened?
What happens next?
Yes,
That's
what's
for
Domina Who
you at
doing?
home to decide. Where's my copy of the book? Here, it's right here. I'm playing this excellent game from Paradox Interactive, The World of Darkness. hopefully one of you won one and you can start playing it right away. The hunger mechanics, the humanity mechanics, which we didn't even get into that much. That stuff is what really makes this game really interesting. Oh, and also that ticking clock where the sun is always on its way.
Yeah.
And another thing that makes this game really great is having 4 amazing players, which I was gifted with this time. Thank you, Skidmauer, Troy LaValle, Nora Ibrahim, and Sydney Emmanuel. You guys were so fantastic.
Thank you, Jared. That was amazing.
Yes,
that was
thank you, Jared.
fun.
So
I
much
like
fun.
vampires now.
Oh, yeah, you turned Skid. I'm
turned
so
me.
psyched to continue this on the Stream of Blood.
Come back anytime, guys. Philadelphia, it's right beside Pittsburgh. We'd love to have you. The Stream of Blood. We have Vampires of Pittsburgh, 10 a.m. every Sunday. That's Pacific time. You can watch our coterie of Pittsburgh vampires who are anarchs. They're the ones being hunted all the time. You can watch them.
Wow.
Oh, yes. And they are always doing horrible masquerade breaching things that cause tremendous problems for them. Come and check out that series. It's now something like 48 episodes long, and we are very proud of it. So we have Ashley Birch, Ross Bryant, whom Troy knows well, and Abu Salim from Raised by Wolves HBO, who are our regular players for that. And we have many other shows. Check that out.
Oh, thank you, Jared Norris.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Grace.
This was so much fun.
So much fun. Thank you, Grace. Oh.
My heart.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody get pink and keep your blood healthy by continuing to wear a mask and getting that vaccine because it's important. It's safe. Take it from someone who pretended to be a couple vampires and a weird psychic vampire for 2 hours just now. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.